severe. We think this is the main show here coming in between that 12 and 8 window. Today it looks like we're more on the front end of that, and I think once this starts to pass us by, we will start to see that. So Kyle, we're getting a new scan. It looks like maybe things have kind of gone away here for a moment.
Yes, that's right. That's what appears to be the case is that we've actually seen the both rotation and the debris signature for the most part go away. It does appear that there is some hint of the debris signature still being there, and that is perhaps if this was a tornado on the ground, perhaps there's a few twigs and things of that nature potentially still in the air, but it does appear that the rotation has looks like it's weakened pretty considerably here, which is a great thing for us. Looks like the rotation has essentially kind of lost its organization, which is a great thing. That means that the rotation is likely not capable of imminently producing a tornado. Now, I do think there is still some degree of very, very broad rotation there, so something we're going to keep a very close eye on. But as you can see, the reds and greens have very quickly kind of lost their organization there. And again, this is headed towards Almont, and it does look like this is in the very far southeastern portions of Lapeer County, so it's almost out of our area, thankfully. But again, it does look like in the last couple of scans it's weakened.
Yeah, and this is a situation today that we've been talking, even going back into yesterday. The three of us have been communicating about our severe weather threat and how anytime we get into these line segments, the usual threat is the fact that we get all of that forward motion out of the storm system, and usually that suggests more of a straight line wind threat. We've also seen some considerable hail with these storms as they've come through today. We're getting reports of hail that's at least 1.75 inches. We've seen some hailstones that seem to be around 2 to 2.5 inches that we're still getting pictures of. And I think I just looked in the chat room a few moments ago that there may even be some sporadic hail that's coming in that looks like it's at least close to maybe 3 inches.
Yes.
It looks like we're trying to confirm that, not saying that that's happened just yet, but we're going to cover all of this as we get into our newscast tonight. If you do have viewer photos, I know there is a post on our Facebook page that you can submit any storm photos that you've picked up this afternoon. We would love to see those and get a sense of how things have progressed this afternoon. A couple of rare situations where we've had severe thunderstorms move through Shiawassee and Genesee County that have had what we call a considerable damage tag associated with those warnings, which means these aren't the severe thunderstorm warnings that we see most of the summer, where the winds are getting up to 55 to 60 miles per hour. These are severe thunderstorms that at times today have seemed to be producing winds that are at least close to 70 miles per hour, perhaps even exceeding it at times. And then also the hail threat that we've seen pretty significantly in Genesee County. I know we did at least get, I believe, guys, a golf ball size hail report. That one we have seen with our own eyes.
Yes.
Out of the Davison area. I know we saw a hailstone, checked my location on this, that came in that looked like it was about 2 inches, tennis ball size. Where was that one from? Do you guys remember that report?
I believe that one was closer to Davison as well.
That one was close to Davison also. Okay, so yeah, these storms have meant business as they've come through today. These are a little bit higher than what we're usually seeing. And again, with the Lapeer County storm, we've kind of exited out of that for more of a broad view at this time. But the reason we cut back in is we were seeing at least what looked like somewhat of a drop in our debris detector, which indicates that there may be something associated with that thunderstorm near the area of rotation. There was not a tornado warning associated with that storm at the time, but this was a situation like Sanilac County last week where we're trusting our instincts there. If that area of debris was not showing up near the rotation, we would feel better about it, but we wanted to play a little bit more cautiously with that situation just in case. And going back to these line segments, that while the main threat tends to be damaging wind gusts, you get these little kinks along the line, and we've actually seen even embedded within this line that's been interesting. We've been seeing some occasional hook echoes that have been showing up, and that's another reason, along with that debris signature that we saw what looked pretty clearly near the area of rotation in that Lapeer storm, is there was also a developing hook in correspondence with that.
Yes.
So that's one of the reasons we wanted, again, to play a little bit cautiously, but we're not seeing that now. So if you are in the southeastern end of Lapeer County, that rotation has since gone away. So I think we're going to get you back to your regularly scheduled programming, at least for this time. The severe weather threat is on its tail end here as we go towards the later portions of the afternoon. Looks like most of the warnings are now in Lapeer and Sanilac County, and a lot of the thunderstorms have now started to move off to the south towards the Detroit area. So we are going to get you back. We'll have our newscast coming up at 4 p.m. In the event that something happens in the meantime, we'll be right back here.
We now return to your regular scheduled program.